Hey everyone, welcome to episode 352, Pivot Parenting. Welcome to the Harmony in the Home podcast. I'm your host, Kelly Hutchison. I'm a counselor, a life coach, and most importantly, an imperfect mom doing this work right along with you. And my goal on our podcast is to go from chaos to calm, feel less frazzled, and have more fun within your four walls to have more harmony in your home. So, I love alliteration, and that's why today is talking about pivot parenting. Before we get into today's topic, I want to talk to you about Herbal Face Food, which is my favorite skincare of the years, because I've been talking about it forever. And if you have any sunspots, fine lines, actually I have not fine lines, I have big lines, wrinkles, sagging skin, all that good stuff, it doesn't make it go away. It just makes it more manageable, not so obvious. And that's the goal. Me at 51, trying to not reverse aging, but just keep my skin soft and supple as long as possible. So if you're interested, you want to support the show, go to herbalfacefood.com, use the coupon code Harmony20 for 20% off your first order. And it's a way to support the show. Even if you get the smallest thing on there, it's just a way of saying thank you. So go to herbalfacefood.com, use the coupon code Harmony20, and on to today's topic. So I want to talk to you about pivot parenting because there's so many times when we're just so shocked that things didn't go the way that they're supposed to go. And I would say more often than not, they don't go the way they're supposed to go. When I say supposed to, I mean what the game plan was. It could be running late. It could be going to Spirit Night and you're going on the wrong night for Spirit Night at Chick-fil-A. It could be about thinking you're going to be on time somewhere and then you can't find the shoes. Or like the other day, we're leaving for umpiring and Grady's like, I can't find my umpire pants. And umpire pants are not like the things that like you could just be like, oh, just wear your jeans or oh, just wear your baseball pants. Like there's no PS extra umpire pants. And we only have one pair because there's no reason to have a whole slew of them. And because there's many days in between his umpiring gigs. So just things like that are going to happen. And so what I learned from Dr. Shefali, a main thing that I learned, one of the top 5, was accepting the as is of the moment. Because a lot of times it didn't go the way we want it to go. The umpire pants are not where they're supposed to be because we haven't used them in a season. So they're not in this place that they were. So the as is of, well, you should have put them in the lecture and all that. Like that doesn't help anybody because we're not accepting the as is of the moment. Later we can have those conversations, but in the moment we have to accept the as is. So how do I want to show up in this moment that the umpire pants are missing or that I showed up on the wrong time? So the ability to pivot as a parent is probably going to be your greatest gift because I just want to tell you now, as I have one that's about to be grown and flown and another one who's inching his way there, I have a lot of insight that it's not going to go the way you want it to go. Getting out the door is not going to go the way you want it to go. Picture day is not going to go the way. Spirit night, umpire pants, the baseball games, the soccer games, the water bottle, the missing cleat. It's always going to happen no matter how well planned you are. Now, not to say you can avoid a lot of that by being extra planning, but with extra planning, laying things out in time beforehand. But you just can't think of all the things. So whatever falls through the cracks is going to come up to the front of the stage. So I want to tell you a funny story how we had to pivot 4 times in 1 hour of just like, oh my goodness, like it just like we had a game plan. The game plan didn't go right. Step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, all within, I would say every 15 minutes. So Lily and I don't know if you saw on social media, we ran in our first half marathon together. It was our first half marathon. I've done a slew of them. I love the half marathon. This one that I do, it's my favorite. It's always in February. And it's my all-time favorite one because you're running right along the ocean as the sun is rising. Now, you're not running on the actual beach. You're running on the sidewalk along the beach. But it is the most beautiful run and you feel closer to God. It's just, the people there are just so nice and supportive and there's signs everywhere. And it's just, it's a great vibe in the area. It's just literally my favorite run. So I try not to miss it. I've only missed it if I've been injured or if I've been out of town. But if I'm in town and I'm feeling good, I will walk it if I have to. If my body's not feeling up to it, I will walk it. even though that would take forever. So anyway, the problem is you can't pick up your race packet on the day of. So you have to go down early for the race packet. Now, my dad, he used to drive over and go through all the rigmarole of getting the race packet. It was so handy. And he would tell me all the things, and I never really understood it until I had to start going down and getting the race packet. So I had to be there by 6. So we had a family brunch in the morning, and Lily had to babysit. And then after that, we were going to go down. And so right when she was done babysitting, the car was running, car was packed. We just got in the car, and of course there's traffic and stuff like that. And we allotted for that. So it showed that we were going to get to the convention center where we were picking up the packet around 5:30, 5:27, I think. So I was like, cool, we have a 33-minute buffer time, which I think is plenty. And the traffic was decent going down, but it was on a Saturday, so I wasn't expecting rush hour traffic or anything like that. So long story longer, we get down there, and P.S. there is not only people picking up the race packet, there is people trying to get on and off the cruise ship. So there's that parking. There's a dance competition. So that's a lot of traffic. And then there's also a volleyball tournament going on, all in the same convention center. And it's staggered, but they share the parking lot with the cruise people. So the traffic getting down there was fine. But then literally I'm waiting in line to get into the convention center at like 5:30, 5:32. And I'm like, oh, this is fine. And I really wanted Lily to experience like getting the race packet because it's pretty cool. Like they have music going, they're congratulating you, there's photo ops, there's all sorts of booths, there's so many giveaways. They just really hype you up there. And there's probably 7,000 runners. So it's just a cool vibe to go in there. So I really wanted her to experience it. So I was trying to get into the parking garage. Well, long story even longer, the line to get into the parking garage was not moving, literally not moving. And it's like 5:40, 5:45. And I'm like, I don't know what to do here. And I was like, you can run in and get it. She's like, I don't know where to go. And I wouldn't know where to even tell her where to go. And I think you have to be, over 18. And there was just a lot of different things. So I said, you know what? Let me jump ship. Let me get out of the car. You just park the car at that Walgreens over there and I'll find you afterwards. And she was like, I don't know where I'm going. I'm like, I don't either, but we just need to like make a decision and make it now. So I get out of the car like 5:50. I am running. Turns out I was in the wrong line. I was in the line for a hotel parking, but the convention center parking was just as bad. So it didn't make a difference. So I'm running through the convention center. I'm passing volleyball players. I'm passing dance families. I'm like, this is so nostalgic. I walk into the convention center at 5:55 and there was no experience that Lily missed out on because they were closing up shop. They were closing up boxes, folding tables, and I'm running to the thing. And I'm like, is it enough time? They're like, oh, you just got us. We were just about to leave. So my point in all that is that we had a pivot that we thought we were just going to park and have this enjoyable 30-minute experience down there. Well, because we couldn't get in the convention center with parking, we just literally had to pivot. So I get back in the car and I'm like, whoa, that was tough. And she's like, oh, that was so stressful. And I'm like, yeah, we just had to pivot. We thought it was going to go one way. It didn't go the other. So like, should we go to dinner or should we go to the hotel first, unpack, and then go to dinner? We both decided we just wanted to unpack, get settled, and then walk to dinner, which is the coolest place about where we're staying is that you can walk to all the places for dinner. So we have a 2-mile drive from the convention center to the hotel, approximately. On the maps, it's supposed to be about a 3 to 5 minute drive on the maps because we obviously want a hotel near the race, because that's why we stay down there. So on the GPS, it says it's going to be 22 minutes to get to the hotel. I'm like, what? And of course, it was bumper to bumper traffic. It was also Valentine's Day, which we did not put together. That's why it was so busy down there. And we finally get to the hotel. So we're frustrated with the traffic, but we're like, you know what? We pivoted through the convention center. We can pivot through this. We'll just have to deep breaths. We're in the car, chilling out. We're along the beach. So, first world problems. We get to the hotel and it was like an Airbnb/hotel where you self-check in. They gave me the code on Expedia of how to get into the room. It was room 104 and the code was like 104.5, let's say. So I go to 104, which I stayed in the exact room last year and I requested it this year. So everything's good. I open the door. I use the code 104.5 and there's all sorts of people's stuff in there. And I'm like, what in the world is going on? There's someone else staying in our hotel room and there's no front desk because at this point it's probably like, I don't know, 6:30, like they leave at 5. So there's an emergency number. I call the emergency number and I'm like, okay, I'm thinking in my head, this could be bad because A, if they're sold out, then that stinks. But if they're sold out, I don't think there's going to be a lot of hotels around here because this race, I booked the hotel a year in advance. because I like the location, but also because as it gets closer, things are sold out. And also the price gouging becomes so high. I mean, a room could be $1,200 for an average, studio room, not even near the beach, like 10, 20, 30 minutes from the race start line because it's that busy and that crowded. Plus we have the volleyball tournament going on. We have the dance tournament and we also have the cruise people. So I'm like, try not to borrow worry. Lily's eyes are panicked. My eyes are panicked. I'm like, pivot 2. This is actually pivot 3 because if you count the traffic. So I'm like, I call the emergency number, not emergency number, but if you have a problem checking in kind of thing, call this number. I call the number. I said, hi, we're in 104. This is and they said, oh, sorry about that. We must have given you the wrong room. And I'm thinking, no, you didn't, because that's the room I wanted. You can go to 105 and the code is 1055 to get in. I'm like, that's the same code as the other room. Just the difference is the room number. Like, does that mean anybody can get into my room if they figure out the code to the code to the code? And I didn't say that. So we go to 1055. The door opens. Everything's good. Life is good. I'm like, wow, pivot 3. This is all within the same hour. So then we go to dinner. Every place we go, we're looking on Google. We're walking around. We're just trying to just fall into the place. Lily really wanted sushi because when we're with the whole family, the guys don't really like sushi that much. Or Grady doesn't so much. David will. And Grady's not a big sushi fan. So to spend all that money on sushi when Grady doesn't like sushi is kind of not fun. So whenever Lily and I are just going to dinner, it's usually we do sushi. So we're looking for sushi. We go to one place and it's reservation only because guess what? It's Valentine's Day. I'm like, oh, pivot. We're going to restaurant after restaurant. Then some restaurants are specialized menu where it's, $85. It's like couples menu. And I'm like, we don't want that. We just want sushi or a slice of pizza. Or at this point, I'll take a bowl of soup. Like every restaurant we go to, it's reservation only, or they're sold out, or there's no walk-ins, or they're just booked solid. And I'm like, oh my gosh, where are we going to eat? And we're walking. I said, we can hop back in the car and drive, but who wants to deal with that traffic again? So I'm like, we have to pivot. So we go to one restaurant and they say, do you have a reservation? I'm like, actually, no, we're from out of town. We didn't know, yada, yada. And they said, oh, well, it's first come, first seating at the bar. And I was like, oh, that's awesome. This place was so cute and trendy and aesthetically pleasing. People were friendly. It was busy, but not too busy. So we go sit at the bar and we're like, yes, we did it. All that pivoting and we finally made it. We sit down at the bar and then, we're ordering our water and sushi because we got a big race the next day. And then the manager comes over, or the bartender comes over and says, because it's not like a bar, it's like a sushi bar. You're watching them as they make the sushi. And the manager or the bartender comes over, or the person behind the counter, and she says, can I see your ID? To Lily. And she's like, oh, yeah, but I'm only 17. And she's like, oh, you have to be 21 to sit here. P.S. We're the only ones sitting there. We're not going to drink. It's not like a bar. It's not it's like a sushi bar. And I said, we're getting ready for the race tomorrow. We're not going to drink. Is there any way? I said the whole thing that we were going through. And then she says, I don't know, legally, la, 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 la. And she said, let me talk to my manager. I'm like, oh dear, Lily, we're going to get kicked out of here. We just sat down and this is all happening within the same hour. We're just sitting down and we're just like, oh, we're finally here. We're so tired. That was just exhausting. All the moving and grooving and shaking and the running and the stress of, are we going to make it kind of thing? Because if you don't have the race packet, it's not like, oh, the race packet. It's like the race packet has your bib number. The bib is what you really need because the bib has GPS tracking in your bib, and it also has your number where they're taking pictures. You get your pictures based on your number. So they somehow automate it where they send all the pictures to that race bib number. So without the race packet, it's not like, oh, you just you miss out on the free coupons. It's like, no, you can't run in the race, or you run in the race, but you don't really matter. You're not going to show up in the results. I don't think you can get a medal at the end because they'll be like, you're just a random runner who didn't pay, because half marathons are expensive. They're not cheap to run in these races. So she comes back and she's like, since you're the only one here and since you're not going to be drinking, you can totally sit here. And I just want to make sure I was like, oh my goodness. So all that to say, I was just giving you a snapshot of 1 hour, maybe 1 hour and a half of the pivoting and things that went wrong when we had a great laid plan and nothing went as planned. And that's how most of your days as a parent is going to go. And you have to accept the as-isness of it because number one, it's just an easier way to live. But number two, when you expect it, it's not so shocking. It's like when you go on a roller coaster, there's going to be ups and downs. There's going to be like, oh my gosh, here comes the drop. drop, here comes the drop. And knowing that, you get excited and you go on the roller coaster. The same thing is with parenting. It's not so much like, I don't want to call parenting a roller coaster, but it's just life in general. It's not so much parenting that things are not going to go the way that you plan them, because especially if your kids are younger, they are just like wild animals in the cutest way, where they can't really follow a game plan. So we have to help them follow the game plan. But it makes your life a lot easier when you accept the as-isness of it all and not overreact, because what I will tell you over time is that your kids will learn to go with the flow and pivot, and the modeling that will go on of you modeling pivot parenting, the pivoting that you do will streamline into your kids. And it always won't streamline into your kids, but that's okay, because you know that you're modeling it for them. And over time, they're going to be like, okay, life is all about pivots. This is what I expected. I expected to get there at 5:30 and have plenty of time. I expected to go to the hotel and not have other people stuff there. I expected to go to a restaurant and be able to sit down, because I've been there a million other times and there's never been a problem walking up to a restaurant. But I've never gone on Valentine's Day. And a PS, imagine if Lily and I would have gone to the dinner and then gone to the hotel room. There very easily, no, 100% would have been people staying there, because when we got back, the same place, you could tell that they had been there because there was stuff outside. They had the lights on inside. The curtain was like closed, but not all the way closed. And you could see the TV on, and the TV wasn't on before. So like, holy close call. I have stayed in a lot of hotels with all the travel volleyball and all the travel baseball and just traveling in general. Not that I'm this big traveler, but I've stayed in a few. I have never had that happen before. Have you ever had that happen before? That was so jarring. And I can't imagine the feeling that they would have had and we would have had if they were actually in there. So I just wanted to show you a 90-minute, an hour of the pivoting that we had to do. And that's not all the other little things of like going to Walgreens and I'm looking for certain cough drops and they don't have the cough drops. I pivot. I get the other ones that I don't want to get. And then PS, I wake up 5 a.m., 4:30 in the morning, and I did not pack my sports bra for the race. Like, what? How do you not pack a sports bra? It's not like I can run to Dick's at 4:30 in the morning. And I'm like, Lily, and she's like $1.05 soaking wet. And she's like, I have an extra. That thing looked like it could fit a Barbie doll. Somehow I got it on. I was like, you know what? I just got to pivot. I got to pivot. So when you know that your life is all about pivoting, you're not so surprised by the pivot, just like you're not so surprised by the dips and the ups and downs of the roller coaster ride that you hop on, and you do it excitedly. So plan for the pivoting, accept the as-isness of it. And then in that pivot, you're modeling for your kids of what to do in the pivot. And that is the greatest lesson of all. And you will have much more harmony, not only inside the home, but also outside the home. I love you guys, and I'll talk to you next week. Bye-bye. Hey mamas, thanks for listening. If you had any ahas, clicks, or those lightning bolt moments while listening, you have to check out my free parenting bootcamp, where we take all of this to the next level and we try to create even more awakenings for ourselves so that we can connect more with our kids and never yell at them again. You can sign up at www.coachingkelly.com. And if you really want to fill up my love cup, send me an email of what your aha was, what your click was, what was that lightning bolt moment while you were listening. I want nothing more in life than for you to have harmony in your home and to learn how to be an imperfect mom like me, which allows your kids to be imperfect too, each and every day. Thanks for listening.